Good afternoon. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020. I was expecting Jetson cars out there today. That was one of my favorite shows as a kid, and 2020 we're supposed to be driving around like the Jetsons. I'm going to read our statement. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to the public laws of 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place. I'm going to ask you all to stand, and we'll salute the flag in a moment of silence, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Item number 1 on the agenda, we will be swearing in Committeeman-elect Stephen Kennis. I ask for him to join me down front and his family to step up to the microphone as well. You should stand there so you have to face the camera. Who wants to hold this? Left hand on the Bible, raise your right. Yes. I always get this wrong. After 29, I don't think I get it right. Just repeat after me. I, Stephen Kennis,
I, Stephen Kennis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties of Township Committeeman
perform all the duties of Township Committeeman
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state
under
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
the authority of the people, so help me God.
Congratulations. Now I ask Mr. Curatola to step down front. We'll swear him into his new position. Is your mother-in-law going to step up with us? Or your mother, I should say. Does she want to? Left hand on the Bible, raise your right, and just repeat after me. I, Peter Curatola,
I, Peter Curatola,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly
that
swear
I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of Township Committeeman
perform all duties of Township Committeeman
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
Congratulations.
You get a remake for that.
At this time, we'll move on to item number 3. I ask for a nomination for a mayor for the year 2020.
I'll nominate Stephen Kennis.
Have a second, please.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatola?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Okay. And next, we'll ask for a nomination for a deputy mayor for the year 2020.
I'll nominate Peter Cortatello.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mr. Curatola?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
And Mayor Kennis?
Yes.
All right. Sir, we get to switch seats now.
Thank you.
Okay. Resolution 2020-01, making various municipal appointments for 2020.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, designating various municipal appointments and assignments for the year 2020. This is the committee liaison appointments. Obviously, Mayor Stephen Kennis will serve as mayor for the year 2020, and deputy mayor will be Peter Curatola. Finance and administration, which includes administration, municipal clerk, collector, assessor, treasurer, planning, zoning board, and code enforcement and building department, will be chaired by Mayor Kennis. Deputy chair is Deputy Mayor Curatola. Community Social Services, which is Board of Health and Local Assistance Board, is Peter Curtolo and Tim McDonald. Law and Public Safety, which includes Emergency Services, Municipal Court, and Police Department, Timothy McDonald and Peter Curtolo. Department of Public Works is Mark Dykoff and Timothy McDonald. Excuse me. Recreation is Peter Curtolo and Tim McDonald. Liaisons to Beautification is Peter Curtolo and Stephen Kennis. Board of Education is Mark Dykoff, Tim McDonald. Pinelands Commission is Stephen Kennis. Environmental Commission and Illegal Dumping Task Force is Stephen Kennis. Library is Timothy McDonald. Municipal Utilities Authority is Nicholas Giuliano. Senior Services is Nicholas Giuliano. Shade Tree Commission is Stephen Kennis. Municipal Alliance Committee is Timothy McDonald and Mark Dykoff. American with Disabilities Act Committee is Peter Curtolo and Nicholas Giuliano. Solid Waste Advisory is Peter Curtolo and Nicholas Giuliano. Veterans Commission is Peter Curtolo and Timothy McDonald. And we, in 2021, will be celebrating our 150th anniversary, so we have a 150th anniversary committee, and it will be liaison Timothy McDonald and Peter Curtolo. Tax Search Officer is Tricia Greco, and Municipal Assessment Search Officer is myself, Veronica Wright. Can I have a motion on this resolution, please?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curtolo?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas?
Yes. Resolution 2020-02, authorizing the appointment of Township Attorney.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Christopher J. Connors of the firm of Dasty, Murphy, McGuckin, Yulaki, Casoris, and Connors as legal counsel for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it.
Can I have a second,
Second.
please? Mr. Curtolo.
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Abstain.
Go ahead.
Mr. Dykoff.
Abstain.
And Mayor Kennas.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Connors, would you like to join us up here, please? Thank you, Mark. Mayor Circulator.
I'm just going to pause for a second. I wanted to read a statement at the beginning, but I wanted to wait till I was mayor to do so. I would like to welcome you all to the first Lacey Township Committee meeting of 2020. At the start of the new year, we always have a renewed energy to accomplish new things and improve on what has already been done. I'm honored to be serving as your mayor this year, and I'd like to thank my fellow committee members for their vote of confidence, and to all of you who voted and supported us at election time. I would like to welcome Chris Connors as our legal counsel for this coming year. I know Chris is familiar to all of you. He has been a longtime resident of Lacey, has raised his family there, and served on the Township Committee, served in the State Assembly, and now represents our district as State Senator in Trenton. We know his knowledge, experience, and expertise will be most valuable to our work this year, so welcome back, Chris.
Thank you.
I would like to congratulate Pete on his position as Deputy Mayor and thank Nick, Mark, and Tim for their hard work and commitment to continuing the quality of life we enjoy here in Lacey. Tim served as our mayor last year and for the first time and did an excellent job. The mayor spends many extra hours here at Town Hall to keep up with all the information needed to keep the work of the committee moving forward. We thank you, Tim, for all your dedication during normal business hours and during your free time as well.
Thank you.
Finally, I'd like to thank my family and friends for coming out to support me today, and most especially my children, Trey and Kira. They always give me the time and encouragement to continue my work here on the committee. And so, lastly, before continuing the business, regular agenda, I just want to introduce some dignitaries in the audience. We have Assemblyman Greg McGuckin, Freeholder Gary Quinn, and former committeeman Jim Moulton.
Would you like to move on to?
Yes, and we will move on. Resolution 2020-03, authorizing the appointment of a conflict township attorney.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Thomas Gannon of the firm of Herring, Gannon, and McKenna as conflict legal counsel for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it.
Oh,
Okay. Sorry, I'm so used to the
Move
old
it.
way.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas?
Yes. Resolution 2020-04, authorizing the appointing of an attorney for tax appeals.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Andrea Wyatt Esquire from the firm of Rothstein, Mandel, Strom, Helm, and Cipriani as tax appeal attorney. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas?
Yes. Resolution 2020-05, authorizing the appointment of a township engineer.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Millis Looney of the O'Donnell Stanton and Associates firm, a member of the Van Cleef Engineering Group, as township engineer.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas?
Yes. Resolution 2020-06, authorizing the appointment of a prosecutor.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Steven Sabarski as Township Prosecutor and Brian Wilkie, Barry Steber, Ron Deligny, Robert Greets, and Paul Granick as alternate Township Prosecutors. Motion, please.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-08, authorizing the appointment of a public defender.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Christopher Dasty of the Law Offices of Christopher J. Dasty as Public Defender for the Township of Lacey.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Abstain.
That's correct. Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
And Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-09, authorizing the appointing of a conflict public defender.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Bonnie Peterson Esquire as Conflict Public Defender.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-10, authorizing the appointment of a township auditor.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment, oh, wait a minute, these are all out of order.
Really?
A resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Jerry W. Conity of Holman, Frania, and Allison as Township Auditor for the Township of Lacey.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Abstain.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
And Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-11, authorizing the appointment of Labor Council.
Yeah, they're definitely. Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Armando Riccio as Labor Council and Thomas Gannon as alternate Labor Council for the Township of Lacey.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Same.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes.
No, we didn't do conflict public defender.
All right.
No,
Oh, we didn't? Okay.
no, we didn't do conflict, we just did regular public defender.
All right. Resolution 2020-09, authorizing the appointing of a conflict public defender.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of John Novak of the Law Offices of John J. Novak as conflict public defender for the Township of Lacey.
Move it.
Second, please.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-12, authorizing the appointment of a hearing officer.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of John Novak of the Law Offices of John J. Novak as hearing officer for the Township of Lacey.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-13, authorizing the appointment of bond counsel.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the execution of an agreement with Megan Bennett Clark of Gluck Walrath LLP as bond counsel for the Township of Lacey.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-14, authorizing the appointment of a township physician.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Dr. Jonathan Coolin, doing business as Urgent Care Now, as physician for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Abstain.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-15, authorizing the appointment of a tax map maintenance engineer.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding a contract to East Coast Engineering for tax map maintenance. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2014-16, authorizing the appointment of special project engineers.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County of Ocean State of New Jersey, appointing special project engineers for the Township of Lacey for the year 2020. Those firms are Mazer Consulting, the Alema Group, Remington and Vernick, CME, Morgan Engineering and Surveying, Bat Consulting Group, and T&M Associates. Motion, please.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Abstain.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-18, authorizing the appointment of township architect.
No, 17.
No.
17, Steve.
17, authorizing the appointment
Wait,
of township
this one
planner,
you did.
sorry.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of John Hess of CME Associates as planner for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-18, authorizing the appointment of township architect.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Lanudo Architects as Township Architect. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Was that, Tim, was that you?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-19, authorizing the appointment of title search company.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding a contract to Midstate Abstract Company for title work for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution
Freezing
2020-20,
people out?
authorizing the appointment of appraisal companies.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding contracts to Integra Realty Resources, Coastal New Jersey, and Henry J. Mancini and Associates for appraisal work for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it.
Second. Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Abstain.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-21, authorizing the appointment of Director of Community Development.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Christopher Reed as Director of Community Development for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-22, authorizing the appointment of a Recreation Director.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, appointing James Wolin as Recreation Director for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-23, authorizing the appointment of a Municipal Alliance Coordinator.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the reappointment of Heather Scanlon as Municipal Alliance Coordinator for the Township of Lacey. Motion, please.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-24, appointing a Public Agency Affirmative Action.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Veronica Larray as Public Agency Affirmative Action Compliance Officer for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-25, appointing Class 1 Special Officers.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Class 1 Special Law Enforcement Officers. We only have one, and it's Brittany Hayes.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-26, appointing Class 2 Special Officers.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Class 2 Special Law Enforcement Officers, and those individuals are Christopher Triano and Matthew Edwards. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-27, appointing Class 3 Special Officers.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Class 3 Special Law Enforcement Officers. There
Make
are
one.
Michael Caputo, Rogerio Santos, Robert Johnson, Stephen Russell, and Francesco Bruno.
Move it.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-28, appointing School Crossing Guards.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing school crossing guards for the Township of Lacey.
Move it.
Margaret Davis, Elaine DeBenedetto, Michael Egoff, Robert Trupa, Anthony Menunez, and Diane Boyle. Tim,
Move
you
it.
made that motion, Mr.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
move
can
it.
I have a second, please?
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. And 28.
Resolution 29.
Resolution 2020-29, appointing a Safety Coordinator and an alternate.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Veronica Larray as the Township Safety Coordinator and Robert Kraska as the alternate Safety Coordinator for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-30, appointing a representative and an alternate to the Municipal Insurance Fund.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Veronica Larray as the Township's representative and Linda Picaro Covello as the Township's alternate representative to the Ocean County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund and the Municipal Excess Liability Joint Insurance Fund.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-31, appointing a representative and an alternate to the Community Development Block Grant Committee.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Linda Picaro Covello as the Township's representative and Veronica Larray as the alternate representative to the Community Development Block Grant Committee. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-32, appointing a Class 2 member to the Planning Board.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Christopher Reed as the Class 2 member to the Lacey Township Planning Board. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-33, appointing a Class 3 member to the Planning Board.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Mark Dykoff as the Class 3 member to the Lacey Township Planning Board. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-34, appointing Class 4 members to the Planning Board.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Dan Cortez as the Class 4 member to the Lacey Township Planning Board. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-36, appointing a member to the Zoning Board of Adjustment.
No,
No, alternate.
35, Steve.
Rushing ahead. All right, 35, appointing alternate member number 1 to the Planning Board.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Neil Marine as alternate number 1 to the Lacey Township Planning Board. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-36, appointing a member to the Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing James Noller Jr. as a regular member to the Zoning Board of Adjustment. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-37, appointing alternate member number 1 to the Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Kathleen Decker as alternate number 1 to the Lacey Township Zoning Board of Adjustment. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-38, appointing alternate member number 2 to the Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Thomas Ball Jr. as alternate number 2 to the Lacey Township Zoning Board of Adjustment. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-39, appointing alternate member number 1 to the Board of Health.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Lorraine Tenachio as alternate number 1 to the Lacey Township Board of Health. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-40, appointing members to the Environmental Commission.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Robert Diesendorf as regular member to the Environmental Commission for the Township of Lacey. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-41, appointing an alternate member to the Environmental Commission.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing Thomas Ball Jr. as alternate number 1 to the Lacey Township Environmental Commission. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-42, appointing members to the ADA Committee.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing members to the American with Disabilities Act Advisory Board. Those members are Andrew Rupetti, Craig Tamalo, Dino LaPinca, and myself. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-42, 43, appointing members to the Solid Waste Advisory Committee.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing members to the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. They're Rosemary Coffey, Robert Kraska, Paul Cowan, Jack Nasty, Donald Trapp, Peter Curatolo, and Nicholas Giuliano. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
That's me,
Mr.
yes.
Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
And Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-44, appointing members to the Beautification Committee.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing members to the Beautification Committee. Those are Lucille Michelli, Linda Salasolia, Jim Barron, Kathy Barron, Holly Martin, Trish Burke, and Robert Kraska. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-45, appoint, did I do that one already? Appointing
doing-
members to the Senior Citizen
Yep, that's where we
Recreation
are.
Committee.
Yep, you're good. Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing members to the Senior Citizen Recreation Committee. Those are Marie Krieger, Lorraine Egan, and Mary Mosey.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-46, appointing members to the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing members to the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee. They are Marie Krieger, Mary Camber, and Lorraine Egan, Mary Mosey, and Gloria Mako. Motion?
Move it.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Well, I need a motion. You made the motion. Who's going to make the second?
Second.
Okay.
Thought there was two of us together.
Steve.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, that's-
so
I
used to
didn't
jumping
hear.
right out of the gun, it's hard to get back into the...
Steve,
Mr.
get
McDonald,
your-
so
Steve,
Mr.
get your
McDonald,
shoulders
that's yes?
straight, will you?
Mr. McDonald's yes? Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. 2022. Resolution 2020-48, appointing members.
47.
Appointing members to the Veterans Commission.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing members to the Veterans Commission. Bernie Snyder, Pete Borchester, Jim Wilson, Howard Toms, John Malone, Kenny Hansen, Tom Verleza, Brian Holt, Thomas Patrick, Bernard Novak, Michael Kilmary, and James Granado Jr. Motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-48, appointing members to the Municipal Alliance Committee.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, appointing members to the Municipal Alliance Committee for the Township of Lacey. Those are Linda Applegate, Adam Buchan, Dorothy Baffanti, George Cerneros, Dorothy Coop, I'm going to kill these names, Tony Connolly, Michael DeBella, Regina DeSenza, Lorraine Egan, Thomas Faulkner, Debbie Smith, Ann Liebman, Joseph Liebman, Patrick Liebman, Ray Marori, Donna McAvoy, Robin O'Brien, Barbara Race, Tony Riccabano, Georgia Sabarese, Judy Santucci, Ed Scanlon, Kathy Scanlon, Monica Zabaro, Peggy Snyder, Laura Timoney, Colleen Tonkovich, Joan Topping, Ellen Vidal, Karen Vincentini, and James Moland. Motion?
Move
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-49, authorizing a temporary budget for 2020.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, providing for the 2020 temporary operating budget, and this should get us through the first quarter. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-50, authorizing the deposit of public funds in New Jersey banks.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the treasurer to deposit public monies in any bank, savings, and loan or trust company having its place of business in the state of New Jersey and which is organized under the laws of the United States or the state of New Jersey. Those banks that we utilize is Ocean First, TD Bank, State of New Jersey Cash Management Fund, MBIA, Aquin Federal Bank, First Home Savings Bank, Senlar, Penn Federal, Shore Community Bank, Wells Fargo, Kearney Federal Savings Bank, Bank of America, PNC, M&T Savings Bank, Santander, and Chase. Motion?
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-51, establishing the interest rate on delinquent taxes.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, fixing the rate of interest to be charged on delinquent taxes or assessments. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes. Resolution 2020-52, providing for dates of township meetings in the official newspaper of the township.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, providing for dates of the Township Committee meetings and designating the official newspaper for the year 2020. We are at the second and fourth Thursdays of the month. We are switching the time from 7 p.m. We are rolling it back to 6:30 p.m. In the summer, we will only be doing the second Thursday of the month. And then in December, next year, our fourth fourth Thursday falls on Christmas Eve, so I guess we'll probably suspend that. And then our official newspaper is the Beacon, and the Asbury Park Press, and the Atlantic City Press. Can I have a motion, please?
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Kennas.
Yes.
And we are done. Good record here.
Comments from the public.
Yeah, we reverse it this time of the year for the first meeting.
Regina, in the back.
Did we miss something?
Regina, come on up.
This.
Hello and congratulations and Happy New Year to all. I'd like to invite everyone to come to the Board of Education reorganization meeting Monday night, January 6th at 6 p.m. in the lecture hall. We will be welcoming former Lacey Mayor Ed Scanlon on Monday night. There's 200 seats in the lecture hall, and we've never had them filled for a reorg, but everyone is welcome to attend. Thank you.
Thank you, Regina. Anything else from the public?
Seeing none, motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the committee. Deputy Mayor Pete Curatolo.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to open my comments by welcoming everybody here today. It's a really important meeting. It is our reorg, and it's how the town will move forward. No small task, and our mayor has already acknowledged a lot of the folks in the audience. I want to acknowledge everyone, too. It's that important. Without the support of the folks in the audience, all within earshot of my voice, all watching on TV, we're not sitting up here. We understand that. And we know what a situation this is. We know how paramount it is and how important that it is. I want to congratulate Steve personally as a friend and professionally as a colleague. Mayor Kennis is a great person in this town. He has a reputation whether we're knocking on doors or whether we're out and about in any of our businesses, everybody knows Mayor Kennis. And I often have said, rather than a running mate, I've made a friend. And I believe that's the way I feel. I've got Steve's back. I support Mayor Kennis, and I'm just glad that he's up here. I want to acknowledge also our past recent mayor, Tim McDonald. And Tim, former Mayor McDonald, has been an outstanding asset to this committee, as are my other colleagues here, Committeeman Dykoff, Committeeman Giuliano. Whenever we speak publicly, it's never one of us. It's always on behalf of the committee, because we really are, I see, a professional extension of each other. That counts and that matters. So what we say on the committee is we push till it gives, and we do that for the people. That is of paramount importance. On a lighter note, a lot of folks in town have at times probably said to me in one form or another, I'm a little too serious. That's because this is serious. I take this very, very seriously. I never want for 1 minute, it could be a rainy Tuesday, February morning, I don't take it for granted. I know what it means when thousands of people get up one day and put their support behind you. I don't want to let any of those folks down. There are a few times a year I'm not serious. A few days ago, I got back from Disney with my little one. Shameful plug I'm a big Disney fan. There's probably some pictures on the internet of me with mouse ears. I had a great time with my daughter Eleanor, and I'm glad she's here today. I want to thank my mother-in-law Eleanor, my wife Eleanor. There's 4 Eleanors. So they're all just a great part of my life. Without their support and the sacrifice of their time, I really appreciate it, and it's an honor and a pleasure to serve. 2 goals for me moving forward, I take very, very seriously. I supported our colleagues when we dipped into the pool of tourism, as it were, and we purchased the Whibbit last year. It's been a raving success. They say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Several other municipalities are now looking to purchase one of those items. It will be a revenue stream for us moving forward. We should have it paid off very shortly, if not this summer. I'm excited about it, and there's no damn good reason why our good colleagues in Point Pleasant and Seaside should own and corner the tourism market. We're a great township, a great municipality, just like they are. And I want to start to build our infrastructure here on Lacey Road, County Road 614, Route 9 corridor, and I think we can stand up there as well while we grow our commercial industries and keep our perfect parks perfect and keep our suburbs suburban. That's important to me as well. I also want to, in closing, acknowledge the relationship that this committee has with our schools. People that know me up here personally and professionally, a lot of what I do is helping keep kids from underage drinking and drugs. The schools have always offered me an open door to speak with them, never to them. We have a great relationship with our school board. I'm proud of that moving forward. I always say, you want to kill a tree, you start at the roots. We start at the roots in our schools. That's our future. Steve, a lot of the folks came from our schools. A lot of my colleagues up here had their sons and daughters educated in our schools, and I'm proud of them. So with that, I would just like to say thank you again for heartfelt thanks for your support, and my family, all the dignitaries that are here today that have mentored me. I want to mention in particular Freeholder Quinn, who's been really a huge factor in my life, whether he knows it or not. Most of the great advice I've gotten politically has come from him, and I will always acknowledge him whenever I'm around him. He's been like a father figure to me, and I'm grateful for him. That's all I have, Mayor, and thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Committeeman Giuliano.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the appointments that were made. I guess some appointments we're going to do later on, all right? Mr. Michelli, I know you came here today, but we look forward to you getting on the MUA at our first meeting. I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Prosperous. Please spend a lot of time with your families. Family is number one, there's no doubt. I look forward to this year working with
different organizations that I've been appointed to. One is the MUA. I look up to that MUA. I've been on it for probably going on 10 years now. What they've done for this town is far none. People don't realize it, but I'm proud to be associated with you, Mr. Noller, and everybody on that commission. You do a great job, and I look forward to working with you this year so we can bring the MUA to the next level. Other than that, Mayor, thank you very much, and everybody, please have a happy and healthy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Committeeman Dykoff.
Oh, thank you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming out. As Committeeman Giuliano said, I want to congratulate all the appointees. If you look at the list, many of the appointees are professional appointees, and Senator Connors, welcome. I know you do a great job for us and your firm. And then most of the appointees are volunteers, and now Planning Board, Board of Adjustment, and these are people who care about the township, and we count on them to make Lacey Township great. I want to congratulate Pete and Steve, first on their reelection, and second on their appointments as mayor and deputy mayor. Some people don't realize, and I know we all experience this, people will come up to me and say, "Oh, are you running for mayor again?" And I try to explain that in our form of government, we rotate. We're a weak mayor, strong council. That doesn't mean that the mayor's position is diminished by any amount. The mayor is our representative. Our mayor is the person who chairs our meetings, who tries to give direction to the rest of the committee on how we're going to react, although we can all give direction. With that in mind, last year, as many of you know, we lost a valued member of our committee, Freeholder Quinn, and it left a vacuum here. And they say that there's a right man for the job. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate and thank former and very happy Mayor McDonald, because you always have that title. He was the right man for the job. Tim and I had a funny relationship. We fought like, not enemies, but we battled like brothers. We fought like brothers. And at the end of the day, we came together, and I like to think that the township benefited from our different ideas. We do have the same warped sense of humor, though.
You definitely
have the
no
warmth.
question
So
about
it's been a good year, but I want to thank him for his service. But you know, I want to thank everyone here, because as I mentioned back when Stephen and Pete were running, they each bring their own set of values and skills to this committee, and we all do. We're all different people, and that's the great thing about this committee. We all are different people, and we all have different ideas, and at the end of the day, we can come together, and being we all have an equal vote, we can decide what's best for this township. I learned something else very important from Freeholder Quinn, and if he was up here, he would probably remind me. I also have to always thank my wife and family for everything I am and everything I have, and I think I'm just a really lucky guy. The only other thing, you know, I've given this a lot of thought on how to wish Happy New Year. Do you wish a happy, healthy, prosperous New Year? Well, I came up with something. I hope you all have a great New Year in all aspects of your life, whether it be financially, personally, family-wise. Just have a great New Year. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Committeeman McDonald.
Thank you, Mayor. If I look about 15 pounds lighter, it's because Steve's got the weight now. So I'd like to congratulate Peter Cortatello on being deputy mayor and reelected. Pete's a good man. He's got a great sense of humor, and I think he's going to do a great job there. Steve, you and I have talked about it. The 2020 challenges are going to be far greater than the 2019 challenges, and we know that. And you're the right man for this job at this point in time. I want to thank Mark for the very kind words, and Nick, and I want to thank the whole committee for 2019, because we did accomplish a lot, but it wasn't just me. It was everybody up here working hard, the employees, the volunteers. This town runs like a fine watch most of the time. And it's because of our employees and the volunteers and the township committee and our professionals who do a great job of advising us, not on just one area, but on several areas. If we disagree with them, they'll come back and say, what about this and what about that? And that's so important so that we don't get hung up in going in the wrong direction, that we're able to change directions. And changing directions in government is never easy, but it can be done. I want to thank my wife. You'll see me around the house more, so. Okay. I want to wish everyone, Senator Khan, I want to welcome you and your firm to that. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
There's somebody else up here who I'm going to miss my meetings with her, and that's Veronica. And she runs this town. There's no question about it. She has the history. You call her on the phone and say, "What about this?" And she'll go, "Well, back in 1980, we did this, this, and this, and the reason why we did this, this, and this is because of this." And you're going, "Oh, okay." So I will miss our time together, Veronica, but I know you're always there for me, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Let's see, what else do I have here? Okay. And I want to wish everybody a happy new year and a prosperous new year, and I hope that 2020 is better than 2019 for everybody. If you had a great 2019, I hope it's better. If you had a rotten 2019, I hope 2020 is much better for you. Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you, Tim. My final comments will be on a personal note. I was 6 months old when my parents moved here in 1971. From what I've heard, Lacey was just a small rural town here in the Pinelands. Things were changing fast because the power plant had recently opened. Early on, my parents became involved in various local activities, and my father started his business, which is now in its 48th year. Sadly, he's now gone, but he's certainly left deep footprints here in many ways and has been a great role model for me. Community service has always been in the Kentish genes for a long time. My father's parents began their community involvement in Bergen County back in the 1940s, and my grandmother went on to serve as mayor in her town in the 1980s. And I hope my children will also want to participate in community service wherever they may be. So this concludes my remarks. Thank you all for coming, and have a happy and healthy new year.
I would like to invite everyone down to the Captain's Inn for some brunch, if you'd like to join us after this meeting once we adjourn. Any other comments, any other business? We're done?
Motion to adjourn.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.